what did you think about that 90-second rant that he went on? What was the worst part about it? As a UFC fighter, was it the fact that he would not get out of Mir's face after he beat him? Was it the fact that he flipped off the crowd, saying that about the sponsor, or what he said about his wife?
I think it all is, man. I mean, first of all, you should have more respect, for your opponent. You beat him, the fight's over. You shouldn't go get in his face. That's the first thing that left a bad taste in your mouth. And then you move on to the sponsor thing. It's like, the UFC is built such a great promotion, and we've gotten so big now, because of sponsors and because of fans and because of, where we are, and you can't go out there and ditch the sponsors that make the UFC what they are, and that support the UFC and that come on board and show support to the fighters as well. That's, you make a Bud Light or any of these other major sponsors upset, it hurts all of us, and maybe he doesn't need Bud Light, but the UFC and the fighters appreciate the support, and he shouldn't. It's not up to him to get into that, And then obviously the comment about his wife was a little over the top too. I mean, it was just all of it. All of it in general just wasn't very positive. And I wouldn't say he's an ambassador for our sport. And it was just sad. Everyone I know, obviously, that we've talked to after the fight, hates him. And like you said, they want to see him fight again. He does have the it factor for sure. I mean, everybody wants to see him fight again. I'd like to see him fight Kane, my teammate, or Shane Carwin or some of these other guys, because I don't think he's technically a top fighter. I don't think he's just so big and strong and imposing that he's going to beat the majority of fighters he fights because of that. But he's going to, I feel, run into a heavyweight that's going to beat him up. And, I think I can name a couple of them. So, a lot of people want to see that fight happen. They want to see him get put, where he belongs. And the thing is, like you said, he has that it factor. So, I mean, he's going to sell pay-per-views and he's going to be a big draw. But I just hope, the newer breed of fighters coming up don't look at him and try to be like that. I mean, we're not WWE. We're a different organization, and the two big differences between us and WWE are the facts that we are real. I mean, I give them respect for the acting and for the athleticism. They're very talented guys for sure, but it is a big difference what they do and what we do. We go in there and we fight, and people get hurt. You put everything on the line in the octagon, and it's real. And on top of that, another great difference between us and them is the amount of respect we have. We respect each other. We're always showing respect to each other. There's always a little bit of talk here and there, to build up a fight. But at the end of the day, when the fight's over, we respect each other and we respect the sport. We respect the fans. WWE, because it's acting, oftentimes can get away with not showing that respect and not respecting Vince McMahon, not respecting the fans, not respecting this, and it's okay because everyone knows they're acting. Everyone knows it's just a show, and so it's okay. But for our sport, it's not, because it's real. We're not acting, and people know that. So I don't want that to become. I don't want people to think that's what we're becoming,
Speaking with Mike Swick here on ESPN Radio 1100, I was saying earlier, I can't believe this doesn't happen more often, because it seems like the emotions, not exactly what happened, but it seems like the emotions that you have in the octagon before, you're fighting somebody, and then it so quickly, Joe Rogan's right there with a microphone in your face. How hard is it to, bring it back and just be able to talk in a civil way after basically trying to, destroy your opponent?
No, I will admit, it is, you're definitely full of adrenaline, and I've said a lot of things that I regret saying. Nothing like that, but I mean, like, you get on a...
Like what?
I mean, just nothing that's like disrespectful. But I mean, a lot of times your adrenaline's going so high, and like, you don't think right. So I can kind of understand that aspect. And I think he's, how like when you train so hard and you work on techniques for so long, they become natural when you fight. I think it's the same with him in WWE. His normal thing is to act that way. He's been in WWE for so long that's what it's normal to act like. And so I think after he won with all that emotion, he just fell back into what he was used to doing. And so I can kind of understand that aspect, but, it was still obviously very negative and very bad for our sport. But you are right. I mean, a lot of fighters, you call people out and you say this and that, and that's fine, but, that's a little overboard. You know what I mean? You can look at every fight in UFC history. I've never seen nothing like that.
Yeah, and Dana said that multiple times in the press conference afterwards, Mike. And so you're basically saying it's and you know what, I would think that it's going to sell more pay-per-views after this, but in the short term, so it could be good for something like that, but long term, you think it's bad because of, as you mentioned, the guys that are coming up now, they might try to emulate this guy, and you don't want anything to do with that.
Exactly. I mean, look at season 1 of The Ultimate Fighter with Chris Lieben.
Yeah.
And then look how many guys acted like him after that, you know? I mean, it's, you know, I just don't want to send, I hope it doesn't send that message that that's what you need to do to have the it factor, because he does have the it factor. I mean, everyone wants to see him fight again because they want to see him lose. And he's probably the most hated fighter in MMA history. I mean, he's outdone the best of them, you know, with that, especially with that fight. So he definitely has the ultimate negative it factor, which works good for pay-per-views, like you said. But, you know, I care about the sport. I'm a fan of the sport. And I got into the sport for the right reasons, and it's all about respect. It's about competition. It's about challenging yourself. It's about giving back to the fans. You know, it's about caring about your sponsors, and you know, it didn't show that. So obviously, someone like me, you know, I don't like seeing that. You know, it's not the way I run my career. You know.
So we want to thank you for being a part of our 24-hour talk show to benefit the Caring Place, a free facility here in Las Vegas for those touched by cancer. It comes up next Friday and Saturday. You're going to host the 8 a.m. hour live from the Palms, Mike, and obviously you're you do a very good job speaking, as you've done with this interview so far. And what are some of the things that you would like to go over with the person that bids on your hour other than UFC?
Oh, whatever. I mean, you know, they're bidding on it, and they, you know, I'll talk about whatever they want to talk about. I think it's great. It's for charity, and you know, I'm honored to be asked to come and do this. So. Yeah, I definitely said yes. I'm flying in, and I'm looking forward to hosting that hour.
Big movie guide. You like to Twitter? Are you up with the new technology?
Yeah, I definitely tweet a lot. I got my Twitter page, Official Swick, on Twitter.
Official Swick, okay.
Yeah, and I tweet everything. I think it's so easy, and you know, it's so cool because I get so much appreciation back from the fans because, you know, I let them know about the links that's going on, like different links of video interviews or radio interviews or things that's going on about my training and stuff like that. And, you know, there's a lot of fighters that are in Texas and different areas where I grew up that, you know, love finding out how my life is going, basically, and how training is going and what we're doing, what we're going through. And so they really appreciate it. So it's real easy, you know, to twit. So I've been doing that as much as I can.
If the person that bids on your hour wants to break down another sport other than the UFC, what sport should it be for you?
Oh, man, it would be poker.
Poker? Is that
right?
Poker's
my number 2, man. Other than fighting, I love poker. So hopefully, if we have to venture away from MMA, we go into poker.
Wow, okay. You play quite a bit online, or what? To get out to casinos here in Las Vegas when you're fighting, stuff like that?
Yeah, I've been playing my whole life. I'm with Full Tilt Poker now, so
okay.
I play online with them, and there's more information on my website about that. But I also play in the World Series, and I play, you know, any cash game I can get into. So I definitely play a lot of poker.
Now,
I played the World Series the last 3 years, different events. I haven't been able to do the main event because of scheduling. But I've definitely played multiple events in the last 3 years.
How'd you do?
Well, I cashed in 2007, and in the last 2 years I've only played a couple events because I fought in June, both times, so half the month was gone. So I could only have scheduled for a couple events, and I haven't cashed. So last couple years I haven't done as good, but definitely doing good in the cash games there. There's a lot of cash action at the Rio during the World Series.
So what celebrity would you want to play a game of strip poker against?
Strip poker?
Yeah, you're facing her across the room, and you know you're going to win. What celebrity are you playing against?
Well, if I want to stay married,
I'm
probably going to have to not answer that question.
Watch it, sucker.
See, once again we're going to have the Fifth Amendment used on radio today.
I'm going to have to plead the Fifth on that one.
Good answer, Mike.
Well,
nice job.
Your
Very
wife,
political
right?
answer, huh?
Yeah. Well,
but you'll tell whoever hosts the hour with you off the record, right?
Off the record.
You got it.
All right, Mike. Thanks so much for the time today. Really appreciate that.
Hey, thank you.